Now we're going to have words from Latrice McTire, whose scenario is of a 19-year-old who is found dead in college 6 weeks later.
It is with great honor that I want to thank the Hoosier family for this opportunity to share words with everyone of love, comfort, and time of reflection. To have heard the news of the passing of Michael, it was an initial shock, guilt, anger, and great pain. I have found myself, and I'm sure many of you have found yourself as well, contemplating and questioning what could I have done differently that may have prevented the situation. You can't help but to remember your last goodbyes. You have such great feelings that it was too soon for him to go. We may have all had similar thoughts in one way or the other, but as I began to imagine what the family might be going through during this time, I was reminded something I once heard before. There are things that we can never explain, understand, or change in life, like death. And you can not even once choose when it happens. You can never choose when it happens. And like Earl Roberts once said, expect the best and prepare for the worst. Do all that you can and leave the rest to God. It sounds simple, yet complex. In this situation, however, I know, but without even realizing it, it's what got you here in the first place and where you are today. Being in this place, feeling as though you are being forced to let go of Michael, I am reminded of who Michael was, and one thing is for sure, he was always in search of that one person in the crowd that was too afraid to let go and be themselves. He would encourage and mentor that individual until you no longer knew who that person was when you saw him. Because he poured into that person, he gave up, he did not give up, and he continued to empower that person until he saw a change in him. So, with just that one memory of him, I encourage you too to be comforted and embraced by his character and his actions. Let it be an example to us all. When Michael quickly took off to college to aspire to be a psychologist, he knew he wanted to help and change people's lives forever, for good. His parents had no other choice but to let go, time and time again, and to say goodbye, because they knew Michael would not settle for being complacent in anything that he did. He had dreams, and he was on a mission and always on the go. There is no way of feeling as though your last goodbye was enough to say goodbye forever. So we must cherish that of what we were able to have. Even when the last goodbye may have not been so great, don't allow guilt and or condemnation replay over and over in your mind. Scripture tells us to think on good things. Let us do just that. Think of what he meant to you. The times, the words, the joy, the times together, the words of love, joy, and laughter. Let those words be memories to your heart. And let it warm your heart and bring comfort. Death is a passage from one dimension to another. Let us celebrate with Michael as he is no longer being held back by flesh, but passed over into another dimension where we all want to be. Thank you.